we have to visually create an act of thrill. When you look at the car from 10 yards or 100 yards away, you need to feel emotionally attached with the car. In terms of the overall arching philosophy behind the car, we address this idea of alluring prestige. And alluring prestige trying to blend a 50-50% with the self-indulgence and then the easy parenting. The reason why we truly wanted a balance is really to put our customer first, who really enjoy driving. They do need the usability of the car, but yet the design have to engage them from an emotional standpoint. You can see this very fast silhouette, right? It's very dynamic. But then you open it, you actually have the space for a 7-passenger with all the utilities, which is quite amazing.
We really want to understand, how families would use a vehicle of this type. So we went out and actually observed what families did. We went to schools and saw how families moved in a queue or in a line as, the mom or dad dropped off the kids and how they got out of the car. We watched how the mom and dads drove the cars around. How quickly do they pull off the line? How fast do they go while they're just cruising down the street? Maybe even how fast they get onto the freeway.
When you're driving a big 7-passenger SUV, you're not revving it to the moon all the time. You want really great control out of the hole and when you're passing someone. So we focus this engine's performance on torque. It makes 310 foot-pounds of torque, a lot more torque than our big V6 that we had before. And this really pays off in drivability and controllability, and really makes the car feel faster in most of your real driving situations. Part of our SKYACTIV philosophy is to pursue lightness as much as possible. New CX-9 saved over 250 pounds compared to the previous model. It gave us a lot of room to put a little bit more weight back in and sound deadening. That makes a huge difference in the amount of noise that comes up through the floor.
We made sure that we had the quality of leather that we felt this vehicle deserved, and that was Napa leather. We also wanted to have a color that expresses the beauty of that leather. So that's how we came up with this beautiful auburn color, to kind of marry the color and the leather together. The aluminum that's used on the interior for the CX-9 was influenced by the Japanese knife makers. We made sure that we bent the metal to emulate how this knife actually bends, and we put 2 different finishes. So there's a brushed component here and a satin component here. Rosewood has a wonderful history in Japan. We carefully selected our supplier who we work with, which is Fujigen. They have a long history of making beautiful instruments out of wood. And then here we have that same wood from those same craftsmen in our interior.
When you drive the CX-9 compared to any of the other 3-row SUVs out there, what you feel is really that direct, connected feel. The car feels more nimble and more agile because of the way we tuned it to really respond directly to the driver's inputs.